this week's action-packed chapter of Naruto Gaiden, Naruto vs. Shin Uchiha, the ultimate ninja battle, which ends with Naruto completely curb-stomping the would-be Uchiha. Yeah, that's right! Naruto gets some action this week and we finally get to see more of his crazy Kurama-fueled abilities. The battle between Naruto and Shin is very short, but undoubtedly one of the highlights of this week's chapter. I especially love when Shin immediately goes into battle and activates his very own version of the Mangekyo Sharingan, which are very big and very spiky and really awesome looking and distinct from the other ones that we've seen in the series. Now, if you remember last week's chapter, he had that one chain weapon which had that one massive shuriken attached to it. He ends up sending that right into the battlefield, which ends up just exploding and sending these spikes and shrapnel just going all over the place. And that's when Naruto's Hokage cloak slowly starts to transform into this Kurama-like state, and all of these arms erupt from it, grabbing all of the spikes and shrapnel from the air, protecting Sarada and Chocho. Naruto's state of mind while he did this was awesome. He was incredibly calm, very ninja-like, and the perfect example of what a Hokage should be. Shin decides he's going to make a quick escape with a little bit of help from his weird little Migi-eyes Jubi friend, who apparently has the ability to use Kamui, the signature ability of Obito and Kakashi. How in the world does this weird little creature have the ability to do this? How do they have Obito and Kakashi's ability? How are they even able to make this weird little Jubi thing? There is so much mystery behind this weird Neo-Akatsuki group. I cannot wait to learn a little bit more about these guys. The mystery behind them is palpable, to say the least. The rest of the chapter is a massive build-up to the big confrontation between Sarada Uchiha and her father, Sasuke Uchiha. Before we get that though, we have some really nice scenes where Naruto's hanging out with Sarada and sort of acting like the ultimate uncle that she never had. And you can see that she seems to have a very nice and thoughtful relationship with Naruto. And of course, there's a lot of weird, goofy scenes with Chocho. I'm gonna be honest, all the funny scenes with Chocho really just don't do all that much for me. And every single time she has a bit of dialogue, I think to myself, this would have been perfect time to have more development for, say, Naruto or Sarada, but really that's just nitpicking at this point. The middle portion of this chapter follows Naruto, Sarada, and Chocho as they're making their way to this tower so that they can finally meet up with Sasuke. To say the least, Sarada is very nervous and incredibly excited to finally meet her father. So excited that when she finally rushes to the tower for the very first time, her Sharingan actually begin to activate. You can actually see the individual Tomo are starting to pop up on her eyes. The reunion between Sarada and Sasuke isn't exactly all hugs and kisses, as Sasuke, being the ninja that he is, decides to pull out his sword and immediately questions Sarada, believing that she could be an agent of the Neo-Akatsuki, or maybe even related to Shin Uchiha. To say the least, the final couple pages of this week's chapter are really exciting, and I can't wait to see how they're going to pick up next week. I don't believe that Sasuke is actually going to end up doing anything to his daughter. I imagine he's probably eventually going to realize who she is, and I'm just honestly shocked he doesn't even have like a picture of her or anything. I mean, within this world, there has to be some form of technology for him to have some like photograph of her. Not to mention, he's like one of the ultimate freaking Sharingan ninja. He should be able to sense something or feel something, some weird disturbance in the Force. I don't know. This isn't Star Wars, but you know what I'm talking about. So what's the rundown on this week's chapter of Naruto Gaiden? Shin versus Naruto. That was my favorite thing about this week's chapter. It was short-lived, but it was awesome. I absolutely love the design of Naruto's form with his cloak having all the arms on it. It was really nice to see Kurama again. Just to read him and hear his voice in my mind was very nice. Shin himself is also really awesome. I love the creepy design of his Mangekyo Sharingan eyes and the weird abilities of that weird little Jubi creature, which we're all trying to figure out what that thing even is. I don't even know if it's related to the Jubi. That's just kind of what it reminds me of, the Ten Tails. But the fact that it can actually use those abilities, you know, I don't know how that works. Maybe because it is related to the Jubi in some sense, since it's sort of like the primordial source of all ninja abilities. Maybe that's why it's able to do that. But we're just going to have to keep reading to figure out really what's going on here. The middle part of the chapter, while not my favorite, was still a very nice read and incredibly heartwarming. If only getting to see Naruto acting like this incredibly nice uncle and family member to Sarada, basically consoling her telling some stories about Sasuke when he was younger. Not to mention he was stretching the truth a little bit about some of the things in their past, but this only led to some really great reactions from both Chocho and Sarada. And of course, there is that final scene where Sarada finally does meet her father after all of these years, and it looks like it's going to open up with a ninja battle. I really can't wait to see what that's going to lead to. Although, I do imagine that Sasuke is going to realize what's going to happen. Naruto's probably going to show up and stop any sort of battle from happening. And really, I can't wait to see an older version of Naruto and Sasuke just hanging out with each other, if only just to see what they're like as adults. This is actually something that we really haven't even seen quite yet. If you remember at the very end of the series, Naruto and Sasuke don't even really have any final dialogue in the final chapter of the series because Sasuke is going off doing his own adventure thing. So this is going to be sort of like a reunion for these characters as well. So I really can't wait to see how they're going to handle all of this. On the technical side of things, everything looked really nice this week. The action scene at the beginning was really intense and awesome. The design of Shin's eyes looked really nice and creepy. Naruto's weird Kurama cloak was really awesome with all of the arms stretching and moving all around, grabbing all of the chakra and everything and the blades. It was so freaking awesome! I love that stuff! And you can't deny that Sarada just looks absolutely adorable when she's learning a little bit more about her father, and it completely turns to terror at the very end of this week's chapter with the introduction of Sasuke. I really can't wait to see what they're going to do with the rest of Naruto Gaiden. I'm really excited, and you should be too, because this was a pretty exciting chapter. So I'm going to give this week's chapter of Naruto Gaiden a 4 out of 5. Whether you've been reading the Naruto manga series or been following the anime version, check out this brand new Naruto spin-off. It's definitely got something for every fan of the series. So I really liked this chapter a lot. I loved all the ninja action and the big introduction of Sasuke at the end. But what about you guys? What did you feel about this week's chapter of Naruto Gaiden? Did you have a favorite scene, a favorite action scene, a favorite character who showed up? What's the deal with that weird little Jubi creature? How was that thing created? How can it use Kamui? And what's going to happen in the big reunion between Sarada Uchiha and her father Sasuke? Please tell me in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching my review. Make sure to like it, share it with all of your friends, and make sure to subscribe to our channel. That way you can see all of our latest anime and manga reviews, and you can also follow us on social media. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby.